Welcome to this episode of In the Kink of Things podcast. I was actually just sitting here and contemplating what I'm talking about, and the topic that keeps coming up for me is being true to yourself, finding your community, your spaces, your connections outside through your inside. And I think it's an amazing topic. And part of my brain started coming on. It's like, how's that kink related? Like, how is that gonna be part of this series? Like, you're just going completely off script. And I'm like, well, that's what it's about. This is not a straight line. This is not a path that we have followed before. This is new exploration. This is finding out all the loopholes, all the rabbit holes, all the little side tracks to come together to a whole for ourselves. And just because you are consider yourself kinky doesn't mean you don't have other needs and aspects that fall under that topic. And loving yourself, loving your community, loving your spaces is part of embracing yourself, part of you being you, whatever form that takes. And in reality, it's all labels. We label things. It helps our brain, it helps our mind to give us a little bit more clarity on, is this something I might be interested in? Is this something I don't even want to look at? And I know that some people, because of the title, aren't going to look at this. And that's perfectly fine. I'm not here to please people. I'm here to activate people, to make people question their lives and be a little uncomfortable with the answers. Because when you're uncomfortable, you're willing to move. You're willing to change things. You're willing to put in the effort to show up for yourself. And I know that has been a big changing factor in my life. Is I would ignore things until it became too uncomfortable to ignore the signs, the symbols, the knowings, the feelings of things needing to change, because I was not happy, I was not comfortable, and I was not receiving the desires I had. And mostly it was because I was getting in my own way. I was holding on to things that I needed to let go, that I needed to change perspective, change focus, and really redirect my energy into allowing the life I wish to have to create. And things are going crazy. I am next week, 7 days from now, I'm going to be on stage talking to a whole bunch of people at an event. It's called Beyond 808. I'll put the link down in the description in case you guys want to join us last minute. It's in BC, Canada. And it's going to be an amazing time, the Light and Love Fest of the year. It's not kink related, it's just love related. And bringing community together, sharing, celebrating, and being us. And I am so excited for that. I am, putting together costumes, even so it's just casual wear. I'm just showing up for myself. I am playing. I am allowing myself to have fun, to not put out an image. I guess an image of sorts of allowing everything goes. That it doesn't matter how you show up or in what outfit, in what things. Part of my mind can't even believe I'm like taking some of the things just because they're fun and crazy and don't make absolutely any sense. But that's what it's about. Showing up in life and doing the fun and crazy things, even if they don't make sense. That's how our soul talks to us, through our emotions, letting us know, hey, this is interesting, this is fun, we get excited. And if you feel really anxious about something, breathe. I love the saying that Courtney uses. She talks about anxiety being excitement without breath. And every time I start feeling anxiety now, and I'm like, oh, I gotta remember to breathe, and the anxiety eases. And then I'm like, okay, this is just something that I got energy coming in for. I am kind of curious, I'm excited about, but I'm also scared at the change of what this might mean, because I don't know about it. I don't know all the details or whatever my mind is trying to come up with. So I'm holding my breath, and then it just starts building and feels anxious. So that little trick of just breathe, couple deep breaths, and then feel back into the feelings. And it's just like, just because your body's vibrating, just because you have full of energy, doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It's things moving, it's things adjusting, it's things expanding your frequency, sending out signals that this is the direction you're going in, this is the things you're focusing on. I had a friend just mention to me that she's so excited for me and wants to also hope to be asked to speak and step out into helping people more and more. And I was like, you will if you really want to, but you got to start here first. You got to help yourself be the best version of you, and that doesn't mean you have to change to any parameter. You have to change to your own parameter, what you want to do. And your identity doesn't mean it's a set thing. I put all sorts of hats on throughout the day, throughout the month, throughout the year. I'm a gardener on Wednesday, I'm a construction worker on Friday, and I'm an in-hostess on Saturday. I worked in the kitchen, in the commercial kitchen at a restaurant on Thursday. It doesn't matter what hat, I'm just being me. I'm just showing up as myself. And people love my energy. People love my frequency. And that's because I'm not grumpy. I'm not what's the word? Resentful. Because I'm doing things that are kind of getting in the way of me making videos, me tinkering, me playing with things. I'm like, no, I'm just being present. And if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it with my full presence, my full here and now. Because then I am channeling what I need to do. I am channeling energy. I'm being here. I am in the moment. And things get done quickly, with ease. It's been so amazing. I had this week that was just, felt like molasses. I was trying to push getting things done. I was feeling pressure. I was just I was out of energy. I was trying to do things and I kept distracting myself. I kept going on the phone, watching videos, scrolling. Just my mind was blocked. My energy was blocked because I was trying to force it. And by the end of that week, I made a decision that this is not how I want to live my life. And listen to that, nothing changed other than me deciding that this is not how I want to live my life. Nothing else, just a decision. But I felt decision. It wasn't just in the head, it was also in the heart that this is not how I want to live. And the next day, things flowed with ease because I followed my excitement. I followed the ease. I did so many things that day, not necessarily planned. Some of it was things I needed to get done, but I got like 5-6 hours of paperwork and computer stuff done in the morning just because I woke up at 4 o'clock and I was like, I'm up now, and started doing things. And things flowed. I did have a couple days where I did too much, and then my body's like, no, we need a rest day. We need to slow down. And then it's more of an ebb and flow instead of a constant push that we're used to in our society. But I was just like, okay, this day is going to happen more. That day it's just going to be a little lower. Then it's going to be a little more. It's just an ebb and flow of how the energy goes, what my body's able to do, and how I'm showing up. And it's amazing how synchronicities work too. On Wednesday, I was in the garden and put in the last of the season's potato crop that I wanted to get in the ground. And it was getting close to 5 o'clock and I was supposed to go to work, and I called in and I was like, do you guys really need me? Now, God, we'll manage, you know, pretty rough, but we'll manage. So I'm like, okay. So I just stopped having anxiety around, or feeling guilty around planting potatoes and finishing this, versus stopping something I was loving to do in the moment to go force myself to go to work. And ironically, I finished within the hour. What I had left, I had some soil mix that I was reusing, and I ran out of soil. And it was like 4:45, 5:30, and I had more soil at my work. So I actually had to jump in the car, go to work, and I was there. I checked in, and I ended up helping out for 2 hours in the kitchen, and it felt easy. It felt the right thing to do. There wasn't any forcing, there wasn't any having to be somewhere on time. It was just like, this is what I was meant to do in that moment. I didn't end up finishing the job that day, but I did get a bunch of bags of soil, brought them home, and then I got up at 6 o'clock in the morning, 5:45, got myself up out to the field, and I finished within the hour. And before, I would have thought this would take so long. I had this pile of seed potatoes to get in the ground, and I was just like, how am I going to do that? How am I going to find the time? And I just made the time and allowed it to happen. It was so easy. It flowed so well. And that's what I want to embody in my day-to-day life all the time. Now, that just also means that my schedule is going to change, that what I do may get flipped around on a moment's notice. But this is where we're following the kinks, right? Not a straight line. Life isn't a straight line. We are following a path that we are creating, co-creating with a soul, with our higher self. And it's so much fun. It's frustrating sometimes too, because you're like, oh, I'm in the zone, I'm doing this thing, and then you're like, oh, but now I need to go over there. Okay, we're gonna come back to this, and we're gonna go do that, and then just allowing things to happen as they need to happen. Like this morning, I am hosting the inn today that my family owns, because my mom, who usually does it, she had to go be with my foster sister in the hospital, and she's doing much better. Thank God for medical care. We always complain, but you know, they're all wonderful people who do amazing work, and very grateful for that support. But I wasn't planning this, but here I am showing up. I am speaking to you guys from the dining room because, hey, why not? Change of perspective, nice wall paneling. beautiful view for me. And it's just so amazing. Actually, I'm going to show you the view. So yes, kinky camera work. But yeah, show up, take the opportunities, enjoy yourself. Even if sometimes you're arms deep in mud, have fun in the moment, be yourself, show up for you. And that will give you the energy, the power to naturally show up for anybody else. It's so amazing to be living from this different perspective, from source embodiment, from soul embodiment, the energy, the grounding, the inner peace. When you cultivate that space for yourself, that is what you then resonate out into the world. And I know those words are going to activate some people or irritate some people. But this is what I'm here for. I'm here to live differently. I'm here to live from love perspective, not fear perspective. From soul embodiment into the human, not from ascension, where I leave the body, but from ascension where I integrate into the body, where I am more whole in all things, in all ways. And when you're whole within yourself, your external life becomes whole as well. And then the other aspect is when you have that peace, when you have that inner knowing, then there's nothing else that you need. And you can play because you don't have to go looking for things, because everything you need is inside of you. And I used to hate hearing people say that. What do you mean everything's inside of me? And it's not about inner knowing or inner information or following a path. It's a feeling inside of you. It's that space of love, of peace, of joy, of grounded frequency. And it's not something you have to develop. It's something you have to reveal, because at your core, it's always present. And that's what they mean, that it's already inside of you, because it already is at the present, because your soul is all those things. It's peace, it's love, it's joy. These are just words trying to describe a beingness that we already are. It's the masks, it's the identities, it's the shoulds, and this is how I need to show up. It's covering it up. It's the noise that we're trying to drown out our guidance systems, because our guidance system is telling us my life right now isn't how I want to be. This is not in alignment with who I am at my core. And that's the key. We're trying to drown out. We're trying to ignore our hearts telling us, hey, this is not the direction you want to go in. And we're like, no, this is society. This is where I have to go. This is how you do. This is what we have to be. While your soul is telling you, like, no, we want to go this way. And then after that, we want to go this way. And then we're going to go that way. And then we're going to go over there. We're going to go zigzagging through life. And that's why life is kinky. Because there are no straight lines. And if it is a straight line, it's a lot more crooked than you think. Had to throw that in there. It was fun. But that is why we feel bad. Bad is a perspective term. It's just us letting ourselves know this is not either how we look at it or the energy of where we're going. It's not in alignment with ourselves and our desires. So there is a little tweak thing too, is that if we have certain desires, that is where our focus is going, and that is where our energy is going and our guidance system is going. But if you focus on the non-desires, like I do not desire wearing blue. Just, I don't like blue. But all you talk about is not liking blue. What do you think you're gonna notice most? Blue things. So stop talking about the blue things. Start talking about the red things, because you love the red things. You love everything red. But you constantly are complaining about the blue. You're constantly saying, hey, look, there's another blue thing. There's another blue thing. There's another, why is there so many blue things? Start looking for the red things. That's how you shift your energy in your life. You don't have to do anything else. You just start focusing, oh, there's red, there's red. Oh, look, there's another red. Screw the blue. Who cares about the blue? I don't like it. So red, red, red. Start talking about the red things. And change out whatever word being experience. And don't start looking at where are the reds and why aren't the reds? And it's like, oh, I wonder if I see red things today. Oh, look, there's a red thing. What does the red thing look like? What is it feeling? What frequency does it have? Can I go visit the red thing if I don't have it in my life yet? Can I go find it online? Can I find a community? Can I find a video on it? Can I just get more red in your life? And red will appear wherever you go, because that's where you put your attention to. Attention is, focus is power generation. And this is why your attention, your focus is really important. What you take in is what you get back out. What you put out is what you get back in. It's a back and forth loop. It's a feedback loop. So this is how you change your life. Change your focus, change your life. That simple. It's all from inside. That's where it starts. Perspective. This is why people talk about gratitude practices. Finding things they're grateful for. Just enjoy, appreciate. And it's not that you have to find them. They're already present. You just have to acknowledge them. That's the difference. Acknowledge the things in your life that you already like. And your heart will tell you. You may have to go through a time of cleansing, of just where weird emotions are going to come up, where you're just like kicking up the dust of the old unfelt emotions. Things are falling all over the place. Breathe through it. Allow it to happen. It's going to get better. It's kind of like spring cleaning, where you haven't dusted in years and you're just trying to broom and dust and everything's falling up in the air and it feels like chaos. It's okay. Just breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. It will be fine. It will be fine. It may feel like chaos. It may feel like the world falling apart, but really what's falling off is the old identities making space for the new. And that sometimes feels hard. Sometimes feels very challenging. I grieved for my past relationships all the time, but they needed to fall apart for me to have space for new experiences, for new relationships. And I am still grateful for that. I do wish some of them had fallen apart a little differently, but you know, we learn from our experiences. But yeah, emotions, they come up. They might feel hard, they may feel like wanting us to cry, and tears are alchemy. Don't hold back the tears. Allow them to happen. Allow them to flow. The magic, they are pure, pure magic. Not quite sure where this is going, how this happened, but this is what I was meant to share with you guys today. And I feel like it's going to be a repeated message to show up for yourself, to embrace who you are. Doesn't matter what it is, and it doesn't need to have a label. You know, I describe myself as kinky just because I am not following the prescribed directive. I am different. I am edgy. I am a little hard and soft and all things in between. But I want to experience the whole of life, the whole perspective. And the more I embrace myself, the more amazing life feels. And sharing with you guys, talking with you guys is part of me embracing, part of me showing up and telling the world, hey, here I am, this is who I am. Of course, this is YouTube, so I can't really go in depth of everything, but maybe that's a After Dark series, or In the Dark series. I don't know, we'll have to come up with a name. Let me know if you have any ideas in the description. Let's come up with a fun name and do maybe a private podcast or something where we go deeper into edginess. Oh, that'd be interesting. Yeah, let's do that. Come up with a name, let me know, and we'll start up with a private podcast and talk about some of the edginess. Play, sex magic, community, always love, and ways of showing up that are different. So if that would excite you, let me know, because it's exciting me. And I think that's what we're gonna look into exploring, expanding, always following those sparks. And for those of you that have millions of ideas, let those flow through. And the ones that keep looping back, that oh, that's an interesting idea, and then you let it go, and it's just, if it keeps coming back, that idea is for you. If it only flows through once, let it go, it's for somebody else. Maybe share it, maybe you're meant to tell somebody else, it's like, hey, I had this idea, what do you think about that? And then they can run with it. That was for somebody. But yeah, you don't have to follow every single impulse in your life. You follow the ones that excite you the most, that you're the curious the most, that keep repeating over and over again, because that is your sign that this is for you. Love y'all so very much. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing rest of your week. And we'll talk again soon. Bye for now.